Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancho, and it's time for another live stream. We've been off of the live stream for a few days now, but here we are. Time for things to get going. I'm rambling. Let's just fucking start this thing. Sometimes I don't have the intro planned in my head. It just starts a little awkwardly, but who the fuck cares? We are on Underdog tonight. We will be doing a BBM 6. However, not yet. Not the first one of the night. I want to get my feet wet, given I haven't done one of these. Have not done one of these in like maybe 4 days. We will be doing a puppy first. First a puppy, get my feet wet. Then, as requested, we will do the Best Ball Mania draft for the first time in a while. So that's what we're gonna do. Jeremy is in here with us. Let me know, Jeremy, if I recall, you are the one who requested this. Let me know. Do you want the BBM now, or do you want it second? I'd rather do it second, but given this was what you asked for, you're saying yup, yup to which one? Let me know. You want it first or second? Um, I'm game, but can wait. Let me get my feet wet. Let me do the puppy first. That was my original plan. I'm gonna do the puppy first. Okay. If you guys want to join me in the puppy, 20-second pick clock, not the 8-hour pick, and I'm gonna hop in right now. I'm gonna get in on my computer. Should be all set. Lobby has 6 spots left. If you want to join me, you can. But as mentioned, we will be doing the Best Ball Mania draft after this one. So if you stay tuned for another 30-40 minutes, these 20-second timers usually go about half hour. It looks like this lobby's full. No surprise. I think this is like the cheapest tournament you can get in at the moment. So usually fills quickly. We have pick 3. Not bad. Not bad at all. Bryce asking, what's up, my guy? In a little pickle here. I have CD. Would you go Bowers or Rice? Personally, I'd rather go with the receiver in round 2. While Bowers is a stud, probably the most likely candidate to be the top tight end, I don't like my teams as much when I go elite tight end to start things off in round 2. I kind of feel like Bowers, compared to some of the other options, is a little overpriced. Like I kind of prefer McBride when he falls to me in the third compared to Bowers in the second. And then I also much more prefer Kittle in the fourth. But Kittle's been moving up the board. It's pretty rare you get Kittle at the tail end of round 4 these days. So if you like Bowers, go ahead and take him. I have no problem with that. But just for the sake of my teams, I usually go with a wide receiver in round 2 instead of tight end. But in general, when I have CeeDee Lamb, I'm going with like Bucky Irving and like Jacobs in round 2. That's just my preference. You can do what you want. That's just what I like to do. I would have taken Bijan here. Would have gladly grabbed Bijan here. But you know what? You brought it up, Bryce. Let's take CeeDee Lamb here. Let's go with receiver and let's set it up with CeeDee Lamb. What is the difference between Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb? Probably not much. Probably not a huge gap. But as of today, I think I trust the quarterback slightly more with CeeDee Lamb. So I do think I'm ranking Lamb above Jefferson. I'm finalizing those this weekend. I will have the rankings for wide receivers up on the channel relatively soon, sometime this week. But I think I'm going to trust Dak before I trust J.J. McCarthy. So Jefferson falls to 6. Seems like some teams also prefer running backs over Jefferson. But Jeremy says, yeah, get your feet wet. I'm in 7 drafts today. So good to go. Good for you, man. You're on it today. I'm glad. Jamie saying I'm not rich enough to do BBM. I don't do many of these. Last year I did 12 of them. Did not have very good advance rates. Was not too stoked. And this year, I am spreading my money around in different things. But I do want some Best Ball Manias. It's been a while since I've done one, so it's about time we do it on the channel. So we will do one on the second one. Yes, Shamrock. Second draft after this one will be Best Ball Mania. That's for sure. Peanut in here at pick 8. Welcome in, AJ Hernandez. Good to see you. You go Christian McCaffrey at pick 8. Like to see that. I prefer McCaffrey than Puka, but that's just because I'm all in on Adams. So I'm like justifying in my head why I need to be fading Puka a little bit. But Puka's still a good first round pick. Puka's fine. But at pick 8, with Puka off the board, I would personally go McCaffrey as well. But Genty falls to pick 14 in this draft. A-Chain at 13. Taylor reached on at 15. So the team at 10 gets a unique start to this thing. Goes Brian Thomas above Neighbors and St. Brown. And then Jonathan Taylor. Very interesting from Team 10, BG Ula. Or maybe Bagula, however that's pronounced. But Bucky off the board, Lad off the board. Okay, we'll fade our Chiefs hate for tonight. We'll go Rashee Rice. And Bryce, that is the question you posed at the beginning. That is where I would lean. I'd probably go Rashee Rice in that instance. So that's what we end up doing. Let's pull this up again. Bryce says, started Chase and Bucky. Would you go McBride or Higgins? Thank you for the second opinion. I'd probably go Higgins. But McBride in the third is fine. I don't hate it. You also get the especially in underdog with that week 17 matchup, Arizona versus Cincinnati. You get an exposure to the Cardinals. I don't hate it. But here with Lamb and Rashee Rice, I think there's a big fall off in terms of running back value. So I'm gonna go Chase Brown for sure. I will take Chase Brown. I don't think you can really replicate what Chase Brown offers in terms of upside moving forward. So let's grab our anchor RB, at least get someone I feel comfortable with. I have Chase Brown ranked above Jonathan Taylor, just one spot above, pretty similar opinion on them. But Taylor goes a full round above Chase Brown in this one. So happily going to grab Chase Brown. And so far, we are setting ourselves up for a potential Dak Prescott stack, a potential Mahomes stack, if he falls all the way back around in the 8th round. And then potentially in the 6th, we could play spoiler to Team 1. We could snipe Team 1 on Joe Burrow, given Chase Brown is a heavy pass catcher. That is also a possibility. No, Jamie, it looks like we're not in the same draft. Oh yeah, dude, I was so pissed when I found out about the little Dalmatians. I was working yesterday, and that tournament filled so effing quickly. I didn't get a chance to do a single little Dalmatian. I just wasn't paying attention yesterday to Underdog at all. I would love to do like 20 $1 drafts. I'd rip like 3 at the same time. Just fucking give me all the chances. I'm surprised I don't have more of those in the first place. I think that was like the first time they did like a $1 entry. Those are gonna fill instantly if like you just want to make 100K on Underdog in one day, one afternoon. Just fire up the $1 drafts, but I guess technically the $3 drafts fill at a relatively high rate as well. I got some lemonade tonight. Shaking it up from our typical coconut water. Lemonade is another vice of mine. Bobby J, welcome in. Stroud or Jordan Love? And can you rate my best ball team? If so, I'll post it in another comment. Yeah, I can rate it. I can let you know what my thoughts are. But straight up, this year, it's kind of tough because last year both players were really disappointing. Stroud had a lot of injuries to his receivers. That was the main excuse. His offensive line was also bad, and they did fire the offensive coordinator, replaced him with a Sean McVay guy. So you would hope it gets better. They drafted two receivers that I like. I like both of them, Higgins and Noel. And then they also brought in Christian Kirk for a seventh round pick. So there are reasons to like Stroud, but I think the main reason why Jordan Love was really bad last year was because he got hurt in week one. That groin injury never allowed him to get into rhythm. And, they just really relied on Jacobs because Love was a little disappointing. But, oh boy, Tet falls to pick 46. Tet is one of my most drafted players. I'm not going to pass on Tet, even though we have Rashee Rice. I'm not going to double up with Xavier Worthy. I don't feel that's necessary. Would have probably taken him just for the Chiefs exposure. But for Tet to fall 6 picks, I think Tet is a smash pick here. And who knows, maybe Worthy comes back around at 51. So let's gamble on that real quick. If you watch these streams, I'm very comfortable taking Tetero McMillan at pick 38, 39, 40, sometimes even above Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson. I don't feel like super desperate to be drafting elite quarterback this year. I think the values overall at the position are pretty good. So I am a full believer in Tet this year, and I also love the combination of getting Bryce Young. But this really works out. I'm getting a very unique start here at receiver. I'm absolutely going to grab Xavier Worthy in round 5. That's a good pick. I mean, both players only 6 picks past ADP, but very rarely do you get both of them on the same squad. We also have Rashee Rice, so I'm pretty locked in to a Mahomes team, and it's probably about time since I fade Kansas City in general. But very happy I went with Chase Brown at pick 27. We could have taken James Cook, but not necessary when we get a good value on Tetero McMillan and Xavier Worthy. So far, this receiving core, very, very nice. Very nice team so far. CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Chase Brown, Tet McMillan, and Xavier Worthy. I'm feeling good, but we're definitely not going to reach on Mahomes at 75. There's no way I'm going to do that. That's egregiously high in my opinion. Probably going to grab some running backs at the next turn. And then we'll hope and probably get him at 94. I probably just take Mahomes at 94. And then if that's what we're set up with, I'll probably just grab Kelsey at 99. Most likely that is something I'll be looking forward to. Those drafts were wild. Little Dalmatians. I imagine that shit gets a little bit bold. Jamie in over 50 Little Dalmatians. It's like Christmas getting picks all day. Also did a ton of fast drafts. Oh yeah, I'd imagine the slows feel very... There's a lot of slows that are probably still rolling. That's interesting. Yeah, I wish I was just paying attention yesterday. Just did not have the time, did not ever tune in, did not open the app. That's a bummer for yours truly. But good for y'all for getting in some. I wish I had at least a few. Peanut Punch says Tet just went at 50 in a BBM, has been following some. Yeah, I think as more of the casual drafters are heading in, like all the people that are in the comments like a month ago saying like, why the fuck are you drafting in May? Now they're drafting in mid-July, now that they're starting to pay attention. And, they're not as hyped up on some of these rookie prospects as some of us were, back in April entering the draft. And that is maybe a good thing. Maybe we're a little bit over our skis a bit on some of these rookies like Tet McMillan. But as he falls, I will definitely scoop him up. I think he's going to be a really good receiver. Okay, Bobby J, you're telling me you have Nico, Garrett, Pickens, Devontae Smith, Golden, Tillman, De'Ami Brown, so really good receiving core, very strong. Elijah Moore as well. Warren and Waller got sniped on Dak, and I believe is this year's Bowers. Warren is this year's Bowers. It's possible his quarterback situation is kind of gross. but definitely possible. I'm on the clock here. Oh, interesting to see Pacheco go this high, but I've got Montgomery in a tier above the rest of them. I'm gonna stick to my rankings here. I need running back based on this build, and Shaggy Balls right behind us has 2 picks, also with only one running back. I think they might double tap that. No, they go Jacoby. So we might get one of these running backs to come back around, but given the Judkins arrest that just happened, can't say I'm like dying to take him. I would assume his ADP is going to be falling. Um, I imagine there's going to be a bit of a reaction to that. So you can get him at a discount. Mahomes goes 73 to Josh Batikin. I mean, okay, that's fine. So I did not get my stack. Kind of unfortunate. Um, do we take Judy? I don't really want Caleb Johnson or Judkins. I think I'm gonna go Pearsall. And with Pearsall, I also have the Brock Purdy door open to me. So with this group of 5 receivers, I can feel somewhat confident fading the position for a while. I think there's a really strong wide receiver room on this team. And I know based on all my experience in these drafts, all the values in the later rounds coming up are not at the receiver spot. I now have the luxury of stopping at 7 receivers. I can fade that position for a while. I'll just take Ricky Pearsall. I think that's a decent investment in round 7. Some very high upside, first round pick. Ayuk, we don't know when he'll be back. Jawan Jennings also dealing with kind of banged up. Pearsall dealing with his own injury, but I like what I saw from him last year when he was active, and he's also not recovering from a gunshot wound anymore. So let's go with Pearsall. He could be the wide receiver 1 in that offense. It's definitely possible, and that's going to be a high-scoring offense in general. So, yeah, give me Pearsall here, and we'll monitor the Judkins fall because Judkins still on the board at 83, and it looks like he's about to fall to round 8. That'll be interesting. Yeah, usually Judkins was around pick 70 to 77. If you ever got Judkins past 80, it was like viewed as a bit of a steal. But here he is still on the board at 85. He might continue to fall. But where is Judkins worth it now? I think in round 8, that's still fine. I mean, maybe there's a big suspension. Maybe it's going to be worse. But yeah, he goes 86. I think that's fair. I think in the same tier as Pollard, Caleb Johnson, still kind of relevant. Aaron Jones still on the board. Someone just took J.K. Dobbins at 87. I don't like that at all. That's the team that also took Taylor at 15. So Team 10 just doing whatever the fuck they want. They took George Pickens at 39. Yet Team 10 is on one tonight. Good for them. I like to be in a lobby with someone that's just flailing in terms of ADP. But, P-Punch. P-Punch sniping me on Purdy with his CMC Kittle squad. I understand it. I don't blame you. We advertised our plan, and I totally forgot you were also in this lobby with 2 Niners already. So probably a wise decision. I probably would have taken Purdy at 99, given I do not have Mahomes available to me anymore. Okay. I kind of feel boxed in a little bit. Baker goes. I would have loved to grab Igbuka here and then have a reason to take Baker at the next turn, but Baker's off the board. I have good receivers. I don't feel that compelled to do it with Igbuka, even though I've been trying to increase my Igbuka shares. Another player I've been trying to increase just a little bit. I still hate the price, but I could see a world where Aaron Jones is very ineffective or just gets hurt early in the season and Mason is a player you need to advance. I need running back, so I will take Mason. Not that happy about it. I don't see him that much more valuable. But someone just took J.K. Dobbins in the same round, and I don't really like most of these backups. So we're shooting for the upside. Mason might be better than I am giving him credit for. Might have more of a role, but feels a little overpriced. So this was hopefully going to be where we took Mahomes, but that team took Mahomes at 73. They can reach on him if they really want to. If I get sniped on Dak later, it's gonna suck. But I'm just getting in at running back. I think we could have a potential RB1 on the Steelers with Jalen Warren. I think I'm going to start fading Caleb Johnson and just taking the 2-round discount on Warren, because if you watched my recent running back rankings video, I am legitimately worried that Rodgers, requests that the rookie remain off the field a little bit more than he otherwise would be. Also, Caleb Johnson fell to the 3rd round. I thought he was more of a 2nd-round guy, so that's a bit of a red flag as well, that the entire NFL was lower on him than I previously expected. And Warren did start to overtake Najee straight up last season once he got fully healthy. Now, Warren rarely scores touchdowns, but we could see massive regression in a positive outcome for Warren. And I really do believe he will be on the field on 3rd down tremendously. I think he's going to dominate on 3rd down. So my running back core was a little bit thin. We have Chase Brown, David Montgomery, Jordan Mason, Jalen Warren. And I'm really hoping we get Dak Prescott at 118. That team with Pickens is at team 10. They just take Prescott from us. So I'm not in good shape here. This is not very good for you, boy. Yeah, maybe I should have just grabbed Justin Fields, because Fields is someone you can have just completely unstacked and feel good about it. But our receiving core is still strong. We still have access to Bryce Young as a stack. That's not bad. But oh, shit. Please leave him for me. Leave me Drake May, please. Whew. Thank the Lord we at least get someone I can be hyped about that also doesn't need a stack. Like, the only one up to this point to stack with Drake May is Stephon Diggs. We can get Kyle Williams if we really want, but I'm probably going to fade Kyle Williams and just opt for like Hunter Henry, Demario Douglas later on. But Drake May has just as much rushing value as Kyler Murray does, and he's 2 rounds cheaper. Okay, I get spared with Drake May. Whew. Thank the Lord. Ramondre there. Kind of tempting, but we grabbed a lot of running backs in the last couple rounds. Yeah, I need a tight end. I'll go Tucker Kraft. I think Kraft is a fine value in this round. ADP 125, we take him 123. I'm comfortable with Kraft as an option. So here's the team so far. We have CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Tet McMillan, Xavier Worthy, and Ricky Pearsall at receiver. At running back, Chase Brown, David Montgomery, Jordan Mason, Jalen Warren. Hoping for the best with our Mason Warren exposure, but could burn me. And then at quarterback, we have Drake May unstacked, tight end Tucker Kraft. Could be better. We got sniped multiple times, so it is what it is. And I at least feel like we're not completely in the doghouse. Not in the doghouse. Sorry, let me get back to the chat. Um, Peanut Punch saying with Pearsall on that side and the other wide receiver likely felt I had to take him there. I think if you really wanted that Purdy stack, I think you made the right call. I think I would have taken Purdy for sure above one of Jordan Mason, Jalen Warren. One of those running back picks would have been Purdy had he been available. So you did make the right call on grabbing him. The Juwan Jennings team also right behind you. Interesting you pass on Juwan for Olave. That's probably not a bad decision, but to set up the stack, sometimes people just prefer it. But yeah, especially with both of us two teams on this side of the board, I think you made the right call there, Peanut. Shamrock asking, do I think Tyrone Tracy is underpriced? I think both Giants running backs are actually overpriced. If I had to bet on one, it would be Scatterbo, and Scatterbo going 115, I think is much more appealing than Tyrone Tracy at 97. I think if there's one I don't want, it's Tyrone Tracy. I think that's going to be a split backfield heavily. If one of them emerges, I would bet on Scatterbo. But Tyrone Tracy, if he's going at the 8-9 turn, I will never draft Tyrone Tracy at that price. I'm not going to do it. I'd rather have J.K. Dobbins and Rashad White, Ray Davis, Bashal Tutin over Tyrone Tracy. Tracy only scored 5 touchdowns last year. Ooh, Kyle Williams coming back around, perhaps. Probably gets sniped here by Gamer Dad, who only has 4 receivers. But okay, pick 142. I'll take Kyle Williams. Yeah, that absolutely lines up. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Late round 12, Kyle Williams. Could be terrible. Could be the wide receiver 1 in New England. And with Drake May, that's 100% warranted. Let's go. Okay. Question is, looks like Bryce Young's ADP has risen significantly. I think I'm going to have to take him here. That's the other stack I knew I was going to grab. A lot of these teams have already invested in quarterback, but there are some, like the team Brett Favre, that only have one, even though he has Lamar. I'll just take Bryce Young here. Not going to risk it. We've been sniped multiple times already. Not going to press my luck on that. Need the stack. And I can still probably get Adam Thielen in the next round if I want him. I'm definitely targeting Hunter Henry first, though. I think Hunter Henry is probably the most valuable based on ADP stack you can get with Drake May. Last year, he was operating as the number 1 target in that offense. So I also believe his tenure with New England does date back to when they had Josh McDaniels as the OC the last time around. Like with Belichick and McDaniels, I think there was a year that overlapped with Hunter Henry. So definitely knows how to use him. Austin Hooper is a little bit relevant in that system, but Hunter Henry by far the safer bet. Leggett off the board. Leggett's not going to wrap around. Didn't expect it. But Eckler now off the board. Strange off the board. If Kyle Williams starts going around pick 140, 150, I'll take Kyle Williams a lot more, especially when I have Drake May. But back when he was going in the teens, that felt overpriced. It seems like that's kind of the trend now that we've hit mid-July. The receivers that are rookies that we were kind of hyping up a little bit too much in May are all trickling down the board, slowly but surely. Okay, Drake May, Bryce Young, both with a Week 14 bye, so I'm gonna need another quarterback for sure. Shaggy Balls has McBride. Think I'm gonna gamble and take Geno Smith here. I think Hunter Henry will come back around, and then that way I can open up the door for my boy Dante Thornton, because I need another quarterback here for sure. Yeah, I'm happy to have the third quarterback. Boy, Shador Sanders to the team with Mahomes. Be my guest. Take him. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I went with Geno there. Whew. All the QBs flew off the board here. Even if I get sniped on Hunter Henry. But we don't. We get our coveted stack. Let's go. When we have Kyle Williams, I don't feel the need for DeMario. Let's go. We got Drake May, double stack. Kyle Williams, Hunter Henry. Love it. We have Bryce Young stacked up with Tetero McMillan. And then there's also Jatavian Sanders and I think still Jalen Coker, but I almost never take Coker. Not that much of a believer in Coker, honestly. Now that McMillan's there, I would fade Coker for sure. And then Geno unstacked, but still have a backdoor Dante Thornton available. And then even if we get sniped on him, I don't really care. That's not the end of the world. Running back, decent. I need at least one more. Chase Brown, Dave Montgomery, Jordan Mason, Jalen Warren. And then at wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Tet McMillan, Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, and Kyle Williams. So this is round 15 at the moment. We have 3 more picks. We're grabbing one more tight end, one more running back, and one more wide receiver on this team. Jamie got sniped on McCarthy to go with my Hawkinson stack. It happens, man. Happens. Nathan asking if you had to bet your life on one fantasy player outperforming their ADP this year, who would it be? It's easier to bet on a player that's not going to live up to expectation than outperform their ADP, but boy, if I had to pick one guy, are we talking underdog ADP or are we talking like ESPN ADP? That's a tough question, man. I mean, the obvious answer is probably Kyle Pitts. I think if we're being objective, it's always going to be Kyle Pitts. It always has been Kyle Pitts. That's probably the safest option. Um, Probably Justin Herbert. I'll be a homer and say Justin Herbert. After his injury, Herbert was like consistently a top 10 quarterback, and he's going at like quarterback 17. I'll say Justin Herbert. One spot going rogue. Absolutely, yeah. One spot is not giving any fucks. Unstacked reached on Mahomes at pick 73. Just to kill my vibe. Shamrock asking Trey Tucker gonna play, you think? He might get on the field a little bit, but I'm not dying to bet on him. Not when they bring in Betch and Dante Thornton. If he gets on the field, I don't think he's going to contribute in a way where I'm dying to have him on my roster. Gonna take Dante Thornton here. That was the whole reason I took Geno. Happily investing in Dante Thornton this year. Also, I noticed this. This made me happy. I pulled up Player Profiler, and who's the number one trending player on Player Profiler right now? Number one trending option, our boy, 6'5", 205 pounds, runs a 4.340. If you are new to the channel, if you do not know, Dante Thornton is a fucking cheetah speed demon. 100th percentile speed score, weight adjusted. I need another running back. Gonna go Marshawn Lloyd, I believe. Actually, I got a ton of Marshawn Lloyd. Nah, let's go Brashard Smith instead. Let's take the bigger gamble on Brashard Smith, because is Josh Jacobs gonna get hurt? Maybe, but maybe not. Meanwhile, can Pacheco get hurt? I have no guarantees with Pacheco. And I think Brashard Smith is much more talented than Kareem Hunt at this stage of his career, as well as Elijah Mitchell, who continuously gets hurt. I'm starting to drink some Kool-Aid on Brashard Smith. Jeremy, yeah, BBM is incoming. Get ready. We got one more pick, and then we'll go BBM. Cobra, quarter century per catch for Thornton. You know it. You know it. Back to his page. Here's what's like a huge red flag. Maximum 26 catches in a single season in college. That's not ideal. However, last year, 25.4 yards per catch. That's just automatically going to repeat. 661 yards on 26 catches is like insane. That's wild. So here on the channel, we're betting that this 26 catches turns into 50 and that this 25 yards per reception does not fall off at all. That's an automatic bet. But 6 touchdowns. This is a best ball player if you've ever wanted him. Like, this is like Xavier Worthy type of numbers. You know, very, very fast, deep threat. And all the camp reports indicate he is beating out Jack Betch, is beating out Trey Tucker for that wide receiver 2 role in that offense behind Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers. Now, are there going to be a shit ton of receptions available when they're going to be running it with Genty all the time? I don't know. But in round 16, most of these receivers have limited paths for success, and it looks like Thornton's going to be on the field just as much as Michael Wilson. And Michael Wilson has been a huge letdown. Never really produced big numbers. So I will bet on the rookie. I'll take that shot. And then here, assuming no snipe, I know exactly where I'm going. This team has 3 tight ends already, so if they snipe him, that'd be very foolish. But with Tucker Kraft and Hunter Henry, I'm comfortable taking a third. I will grab Jatavian Sanders to stack up with Bryce Young. We have Tedero McMillan and now the tight end. And Tet was starting to come alive a little bit last year before injury. Jatavian Sanders was starting to offer some level of floor before his, I forget which injury he had, but like, look at these last 6 games. Actually, you can't count that last one. Even though 3 for 49 on three targets is good, he only played 12 snaps in week 11 before the injury, and then he just never really came alive until the final week of the season. But let's just count that these last 6 games, an average of 4 targets, 3.5 catches, 43.5 yards. That's like a baseline, tight end 12 through 15 type of expectation. 40 yards on about 3-4 catches per week. That's kind of what you're expecting. But only 1 touchdown, that's the department I'm hoping changes. But you're getting like 6 points baseline from that, assuming that production does repeat. I think in year 2, Jatavian will secure that tight end 1 role. So barring an injury, I think he'll be on the field the most. And hopefully those touchdown numbers go up. When we have Bryce Young, it's definitely warranted to have the stack. So Just a quick reminder on the final team before we hop into the BBM. We went with a 3-5-7-3 build. We got sniped on some QBs, but wound up with Drake May, Bryce Young, Geno Smith. I think this is a competitive quarterback room given how it shaked out. Not bad. We got the week 14 double buys, but Geno with a bye in week 8, so we're chilling there. And then at running back, Chase Brown's going to carry us. Hopefully he stays healthy. Montgomery, maybe this is the year where Gibbs goes down and Montgomery's the guy you need. Let's take a gamble on it. Should have a decent floor at the very least. And then maybe Jordan Mason does eclipse Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is old, so why not hope for it? Jalen Warren could also overtake Caleb Johnson. He's much more familiar with the system. And I am worried that Rodgers does not trust the rookie, especially in pass protection. And by the time we hit like week 8, Rodgers is just fed up and just says, yeah, keep Warren on the field like 70% of the time. I do not trust Caleb Johnson. Even if he's more talented and prolific, the rookie just might not be ready. We could luck out with Jalen Warren at a high rate. And then Brashard Smith, more of a lottery pick. Nothing guaranteed, but nothing's guaranteed with Pacheco either. So that's our 5th running back. And then receiver, we went with heavy options early on. We went CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice, Tet McMillan, and Xavier Worthy. We got some good values on Tet and Worthy. We did miss out on Mahomes, though. That was a big bummer, but someone reached a full round and a half on Mahomes. It just is what it is. And then Pearsall to close it out as our 5th guy. That's not bad. And then Kyle Williams for the stack, along with Hunter Henry for that Drake May stack. That feels good. Dante Thornton to pair with Geno. And then at tight end, we have Tucker Kraft. Had 7 touchdowns last year. Let's hope that can repeat. Hunter Henry, good floor play at tight end, not bad. And then Jatavian Sanders for that double stack with Tet McMillan and Bryce Young at QB. So I wished I had Mahomes on this team. I wished I had Dak on this team as well. But despite neither of those things panning out, I still think this team is pretty solid and could advance to the playoffs. After that, we don't know what's going to happen. Going to hope for the best. But enough rambling. We have teased it well enough. We will be doing a Best Ball Mania tonight. It is going to happen. So I'm on roughly like a 6-second delay. I'm gonna hop in on my phone. I do not want to get boxed out by the location and juke y'all. And if you want to be drafting with me, it doesn't work out. So just give me a second. I'm gonna prep it on the phone. I got my location on. The phone's gonna be good. So get your buttons ready. Get your mouse clicks ready. I am pulling it up. Okay, Best Ball Mania tournament. I've got it. Hit the button right now, and I will hit it in 4, 3, 2, 1. I am hopping in. 11 more to start. I was the first player to join in this lobby. That's not great. Don't like to see that. So if you clicked it right before I did, you may be in the lobby right before. Six spots left. Sounds like from that Jeremy, who requested this, is in with us. If there was one person I wanted to be in this lobby with me, it is Jeremy, who says he's in. That's great news. Love to see it. But haven't done I've done some pit bulls, which are $20 entries, but given the advance rates of Best Ball Mania, there's so much more money at stake, in the prize pool. There's $15 million up for grabs. The anxiety level is a bit higher. I'm not going to lie when I do these. Looks like we're down to 3 spots now if you all want to join. But at $25 a pop, not always my favorite thing to do. Especially when I'm live streaming and I want to do like 3 drafts in one night. Feels a lot better to only drop $15 than 75. Definitely helps the wallet out. But last spot is up for grabs if you would like it. We will Be underway very shortly. Very soon. Give me either like picks 10 through 12 or give me a top 5 pick. Come on. Be good to me, randomizer. Pick 11. I'll take it. Happy with that. Let's go. No problem, Jeremy. It's been a while since I've done one. It's been overdue. So glad it worked out. You're in pick 5. The Icon. Nice name. Looks like P Punch is back in with us. And if anybody else is drafting with us, let us know. Especially if you're pick 12 at the turn, please let me know. George Gomez, I was watching a replay of this draft and I don't understand the Rice Worthy picks. Well, Rice I think is a fine pick at the 2-3 turn. And then Worthy fell. He usually goes in the 4th round. He fell to me in the 5th. So I thought I got a good value on Worthy to where I could justify having both of them. And then ideally, when you have both, the argument you're making in these best ball tournaments, especially when, like, the thing about these tournaments, you can have a great team the first 14 weeks and advance. You can still advance in weeks 15 and 16. All the money is really made in week 17. It's kind of a 1 week matchup in terms of all the prize money. Like, yeah, you can at least make some return on your investment earlier just by advancing like 1 week into the playoffs. But really, if you want to, exponentially grow your winnings, it's in week 17. And the argument we're making is that if Worthy and Rashee Rice are the players we need to win this tournament altogether, they're both going to put up stud games, then the best path for success is that we also have the quarterback who hypothetically also puts up the QB1 performance that week. If Mahomes puts up a 45-point game better than any other player, hold on, we're on the clock. I think I'd rather have Brian Thomas. Give me Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas is my boy. Another one of my boys. Gonna stay balanced. I'm gonna go Devon A-Chain. Gonna take Devon. My RB5. I feel comfortable with that, but very tempting to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, just for the somewhat unique start. It's not that unique. Usually some of these receivers fall around. But yeah, so the theory on the stack and why it's critical is because in week 17, you want the QB1 in points scored. And if that's Mahomes, it's going to be because his receivers also go off. And if we have both of them that put up stud games, or at least maybe just one of them puts up stud game, maybe one of them goes off in week 16. That's the guy you need. You need Worthy in week 16. And then week 17, you need Rashee Rice. Either way, having that correlated investment is a much more easier path to win. That's the reason why you want the stacks, George. But I understand. This is a very valid point. But that's going to be a very contentious game. I could still see a high-scoring affair. Is it a terrible matchup on paper? Yes. But last year, you know who won Best Ball Mania? The team that had every single Bengals stack. He had Burrow, he had T. Higgins, he had Jamar Chase, he had Chase Brown, he even had Mike Gesicki and Yoshivas. And you know who they played in Week 17? The Broncos as well, with Patrick Surtain opposite them. So you can worry about a matchup that's bad on paper, and then next thing you know, it means nothing due to injury or just because that game turns into a shootout. Like, that's the randomness aspect of this game where, like, fretting too much over specific matchups while it is like, something I keep in mind, am I going to say it's impossible that the Chiefs put up, you know, the week that you need in week 17, even against the Broncos? No, it's not impossible. It's unlikely, but so is winning this tournament in the first place, man. Your odds are very slim in the first place. So that's my logic. There's a lot of data I've seen to warrant the stacks, but sometimes it does feel like you prioritize a little too much. I will acknowledge sometimes it feels a little overrated, but it is very relevant. It's very relevant. Jamie, has Jeff Lambert contacted you yet about hopping on his show? I don't know. Last I checked, no, but last I checked was not in the last couple days. I don't know. I gotta focus, Jamie. We'll find out later. JSN falls, and I'm not dying to take Kyron Williams, so I'll go with JSN here. Very tempted to take Mike Evans for the Dolphins-Bucks game, but I know that Team 12 with 2 running backs already needs receiver, and I will avoid getting sniped. But I would like to go Kittle here, in all honesty. But the thing about this tournament, Kittle was going like 10 picks later when this tournament dropped. So I don't know if this is the best pick you could take. I'm going to grab Omarion Hampton. I want a player I'm excited about, and at his age, I'm not like dying to invest in Mike Evans anymore. The drafting of Igbuka, the breakout for Jalen McMillan, and then the potential that Godwin is relatively healthy. I don't know if Mike Evans is going to be as successful as last year. They also lost Liam Cohen. I think that's relevant, but 1,000 yards is very likely to still happen for Mike Evans. It's a little overrated, though. Like, it's about touchdowns with Evans. It's really about touchdowns. Granted, he did get hurt last year and still went over 1,000 yards, so it was a bit better in terms of like per game stats. But in my tier-based rankings, I don't have that many running backs on the same level as Hampton left on the board. And I probably would have preferred an elite QB there, but they're all off the board. I don't really want to grab Hurts well above ADP if I don't need to. And Allen went at 29 to Jeremy drafting with us. Lamar went 32 to EDJ 43. And then Jaden Daniels went at 37. Very interesting that Team 12 does not have a receiver through this point. Not my favorite strategy. Definitely risky. But no risk it, no biscuit. Okay, so very balanced start so far. We have BT, A-Chain, JSN, and Omarion. And Najee Harris just blew up his face. Najee Harris just lost an eye to a fireworks incident. I don't mean to laugh, but that's kind of a funny story. His eyes are fine. So apparently it's like a cosmetic injury, like his eyebrows are gone. But he did just suffer a fireworks injury. Maybe that doesn't help him. Anyways, Brian Thomas, JSN, and then the team after us does not have a receiver yet. So definitely grabbing a receiver. Question is who? I'll probably go Rome. That opens us up for Caleb if he's available at a discount. I think I'm going to go Rome here. He was a bust last season, but could pop. And the way that Ben Johnson's talking about not just DJ Moore, but also Luther Burden, I could see Ben Johnson have a bit more of like a fixation with Rome Odunze. So let's grab him. I know that Team 12 is grabbing receiver. They have to. If I can goad Team 12 into taking Mixon here by, you know, the price drop, that would feel kind of nice. Oh, fuck yeah. Go, take him. Um, Sweet. And then I think I will go Godwin, even though I kind of want to grab a running back, in all honesty. Yeah, I'm going to take Godwin. We passed on Mike Evans. That Dolphins Bucks bring back is very tempting. I feel like that could be a very high scoring game. And even if Godwin misses a little bit in the beginning of the season, I feel good enough with Brian Thomas, JSN, and Rome to where I can I can miss out on some weeks with Godwin and still be fine. If he's healthy at the end of the year when all the money is made, Godwin has the potential to be a top 3 wide receiver. He really does. That's what he was putting up last year. Granted, he did break his ankle. That's never good. But Godwin's super talented at the end of the equation. So we'll take him. And then I could also technically justify a Egbuka Baker selection at the next round, but sometimes Baker falls all the way back around. Oh, the team with Mike Evans is right before me. There's no way Baker would make it to 107. That's not going to happen. But so far, I think the team is pretty solid. We got good running backs with A-Chain and Hampton. Our receiving core is solid with Brian Thomas, JSN, Rome Odunze, and Chris Godwin. Yeah. Godwin was fucking fantastic before the injury. So it's just a question of health. It's not like he forgets how to play football. Now he might lose some burst in athleticism after a brutal ankle injury like that. But the Patriots wanted to pay him like an insane amount of money. He turned it down to stay in Tampa. Jamie thinks Ben Johnson will elevate Rome and Burden. I hope he elevates Rome. That's for sure. I hope that happens. VSAT, is it crazy to take Nico at the 104? I wouldn't do it. I don't like doing that. I know Nico's been moving up the board. I'm still worried about his injury prone risk. Nico rarely stays healthy. Nico has yet to play a full season in his entire career. Now, he has access to a top 3 ceiling at the position. So in a way, yes, it is justified. I don't think it's egregious, but it's just not my cup of tea. I'll take Nico at a slight value if I can. Not gonna reach on him if I don't have to. Maybe this is a Judkins team. I'm going to pass on Judkins at 83, but if he's there at 86, you know, might be one of the lowest prices on Judkins you can find. FSG picks goes Jalen Warren at 81. Wow, a reach on Warren. Very interesting. Oh boy, we get Golden and Reed to fall. That's the question. Who do you prefer between the two? For upside, I think Jaden Reed has the higher upside. I think Golden has the better floor, but even that is not a guarantee as a rookie. It's a gamble with both, but we have seen Jaden Reed have access to. Wow, Demo, pick 12, just fucking going for it. Okay, shit. I think I'm gonna go Josh Downs. No, give me Darnell Mooney. Give me Darnell Mooney. I'd rather have the door open for Penix than Daniel Jones and then Baker goes. Yeah, Baker. I knew we weren't going to get a discount on Baker, but I don't feel desperate to draft Baker at 86. Just give me another high-end receiver. The tier break following Mooney is pretty drastic. Like, I know Diggs is there, but I don't trust Diggs that much. Not with the Patriots coming off an ACL. Meanwhile, Mooney has like no fucking competition. Like, are you worried about Kyle Pitts? I'm not. Yeah, London's there. London's gonna get a lot of targets, but you gotta throw the ball to other people. And Mooney was balling out last year. I think Panic's gonna chuck it deep at a much higher completion percentage rate than Cousins did. I think Mooney could fucking crush, honestly. I could see a world where Mooney's just as good as like Jerry Jeudy, Deebo Samuel going 2 full rounds higher. Mooney's been a favorite pick of mine since I launched the channel. I've been infatuated with Mooney for years now. So an excuse to grab Penix. It probably doesn't happen. That team with Drake London would probably take him. But that team with London already has Lamar, so we could sneak past him. Okay. Stayed with who? I'm not sure who you're talking about, Jamie. Yeah. Penix has the chance to be like a fucking steal. A potential league winner, honestly. I keep getting hyped on Penix. Every week that goes by, I believe in Penix a little bit more. Fields off the board. Purdy off the board. This team has Hurts. This team has Baker. All right, we're going with Caleb Williams. Boy, the team after me with 5 running backs, 2 receivers so far. I kind of want to bury him at the position, but that's kind of just that's not really benefiting me. So I'm not gonna do that. Let's go Caleb. And then only question is, do I go Luther Burden here? Probably not. We have Rome. I think it's fine. I mean, Kelsey's not a pick I like to make, but at this price, it's kind of tempting. Yeah, I'll do it. I don't feel great about it. But at pick 110 in the 10th round, I think I can justify it. Team after me goes Burden. Because there's no guarantee I get Loveland, even though that's who I kind of want at tight end. It's not guaranteed. Okay, so our bet on A-Chain and Hampton better fucking work out. But at least I've got a player at every position now. And we do get one of the cheapest prices on Kelsey in this tournament. Kelsey rarely falls to the 10th round. I've seen it happen before. I'm not saying it's the first time ever, but round 10 Kelsey is, I think, a fair price. All right, so we have Brian Thomas, JSN, Rome Odunze with our Caleb Williams stack. We have Godwin, Jaden Reed, Darnell Mooney we still have a lot of stacking options available. I can still go with Trevor Lawrence. I can still go with Sam Darnold. I can still go with Jordan Love and also Michael Penix. And then technically I can also go with Tua with A Chain, and then who knows, maybe the Hampton Herbert stack is also uh somewhat of a value. Not dying to do that though. Definitely not dying to do that. Prescott went 97 in this draft. Oh wow. P Punch taking him with Pickens. Not letting the CeeDee Lamb team have him. Okay. I need running back. That's for sure. Our bets that Team 12 would skip out on Mixon and Judkins just didn't pan out. Like, I really did not expect him to grab both of them. I thought one of them would come back around to me. Like, if Mixon was there at 59 when we go, at 62, I mean, when we went Godwin, I would have definitely taken Mixon. Just didn't happen. And then I was probably going to take Judkins at 86, but that team took Judkins. They just could not help themselves. Tyjae Spears got sniped. That's unfortunate. That team does not have a tight end. We're just going to grab Loveland here. Get the double stack with Rome and Loveland to pair with Caleb Williams. So now I'm done at tight end. I can go with 3 quarterbacks. And then the only question is, like, can I afford to push running back at all any further? I don't think so. My fixation with Tootin might fucking burn me. Oh, it's tempting. But you know what? We took Hampton above James Cook in this draft. Let's just continue to fade James Cook. Let's go Ray Davis, one of my favorite picks overall. I'm a firm believer that Ray Davis is a phenomenal pick. So Ray Davis, our RB3. We have A Chain and Hampton, along with Ray Davis at running back. Wide receiver Brian Thomas, JSN, Rome Odunze, Chris Godwin, Jaden Reed, and Darnell Mooney at receiver. Receiver's pretty loaded. Tight end Kelsey at a value and Loveland. And then our quarterback is Caleb Williams to pair with Loveland and Rome. Jeremy takes plenty of Cook and Davis. I think that's a wise approach. I don't want to fade Cook too much. The man scored 18 touchdowns last year. But I do believe that Ray Davis might be a league winner. And then I also think grabbing both of them on the same team is also justified as well. I'm a bit more pro handcuff than I used to be. Especially in best ball, because like if your elite running back does go down and you're really relying on that player, if they miss like 3 or 4 weeks, you are totally gambling that your backups on other teams have the right weeks to correlate with those necessary games. You know, like if James Cook misses weeks 13, 14, and 15, there is no bet that having Garendo, even if he pops off, you know, in the beginning of the season, ever cracks your lineup at the time you need him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know for a fact if James Cook is off the field in those 3 games, that Ray Davis slots in perfectly. You know exactly who you need in that time frame. Okay, the team with London is on the clock, and they pass on Penix. Oh, Penix went 141. Never mind. It doesn't pass. Just got sniped. Shit. We are running out of quarterbacks here. Fuck. I'm gonna take Jaden Blue. Fuck. This comment is making me think twice about it. I probably do want him, but the way quarterback's moving in this lobby, I don't think I can risk it. I need Darnold. I'm pot committed to JSN. I have to take Darnold. I think I have to. Yeah, all of the quarterbacks just went off. We saw Penix at 141. We saw Stroud at 144. Tua, Bryce Young, Stafford, and Geno all before my pick at 155. And then the reason I go Jaden Blue there is like the Cowboys backfield is a nightmare. However, this is the cheapest price we've seen in this entire tournament on Jaden Blue, and he's the only one with like speed. So Tootin, oh wow, I got one pick away from Tootin. Oh my god, I wish I had Tootin, bro. Fuck. That team with Trevor Lawrence, good pick. This is stressful. I'm kind of regretting the Kelsey pick, but if I didn't go Kelsey, I would have grabbed like Charbonnet. Damn. Yeah, quarterback is a little bit gross for my team. Okay, here's the full reminder. Quarterback Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold. Receivers Brian Thomas, JSN for the stack. Roma Dunze also stacked. Godwin, Jaden Reed, Darnell Mooney. Running backs A-Chain Hampton, Ray Davis, Jaden Blue. It's not bad. It's kind of easy to forget when you have like two high-end running backs that like maybe you don't need that much depth. But then tight end is Kelsey and Loveland. Shamrock likes the team. Shamrock likes the team. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just was not planning for Darnold at all. Glad I at least have that open to me, you know, like also one of my favorite picks in round 18 also plays for Seattle. That's something to keep in mind. But very interestingly, Cam Ward is falling in this draft. It looks like every team before me has at least two quarterbacks. Where's the Ridley drafter? The Ridley drafter also has Tyjae Spears. I think that team ventriloquist here is taking Cam Ward at 175. That's what I would expect. Oh no, they go Zach Ertz, but oh yeah, they couldn't. They had Fields, Goff, and Stafford. Oh, very interesting. I would totally take him. But I could also get away with just two QBs. Wow. Okay. Pick 179. I get Cam Ward at a tremendous value, even unstacked. I think this is a clear pick. I don't feel that strong about Caleb Williams and Darnold on this team. I just don't. While there's tremendous upside, Darnold as the QB2, massive red flag, massive risk. So there we go. I think I need running back. I'll go Rico Dowdle. I don't fully trust Chuba. Not like crazy. And then there's also the potential that like Chuba Hubbard goes down in, the fantasy playoffs and Dowdle does crush. And then the Seahawks are playing the Panthers. And who knows, maybe that's a bring back in week 17 that is valuable. But I do think Dowdle's one of the last like locked in handcuff running backs you can get. And I also envision him having a decent role in the passing game. Like, Hubbard is not an elite pass catcher. If not for Jonathan Brooks just being so, hurt in his rookie season, I don't know if Chuba Hubbard would have gotten as many touches as he did. And even though don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying Dowdle's going to be overtaking Chuba Hubbard. That's definitely not my take at all. But I'm not convinced that Chuba has the same snap share this season as he did last year. I think Dowdle's a very legit player. We saw him play very well last year in Dallas, and one of his best skill sets is in the passing game. I think he's going to be pretty relevant in Carolina. And while yes, they did extend Chuba Hubbard, they also brought in Rico Dowdle after that. And let's double check. I don't want to guess, but his contract is $2.75 million, and I'm sure there's also some incentives. He's on a 1-year deal, so not long-term investment. They know that Jonathan Brooks is irrelevant, but he's going to have a role. He has some value. So we need another running back. We have A-Chain, Hampton, Ray Davis, Jaden Blue, Rico Dowdle. I'm liking the receiving core. I mean, the running back core. I could maybe tolerate one more. But it is interesting that Dante Thornton is falling, our boy. I should probably consider stacking up Cam Ward with someone, though. Okonkwo's off the board, however. Not desperate to do it. Dante Thornton gets sniped. I'm just going to queue up Torrey Horton in case I just run out of time. Because I know for a fact I'm drafting Torrey Horton. I believe in Torrey Horton as the wide receiver 3 in Seattle. Let's just take him. Think about this. Jermaine. We can go Lockett or a Yamanor. On the clock already. I'm going to go Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I just don't believe in Brian Robinson this year. And while this is a very easy path for 0 points with Merritt, to pretend like Eckler at his age is a safe bet to stay healthy is not wise either. Yeah, I'll grab the 6th running back. I don't feel too good about all of the depth. I'm relying kind of heavily on some handcuffs as the running back 3 on this team. Let's grab a lottery ticket with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Okay. The receiving core I think is strong enough where 7 is absolutely a wise investment. I got Brian Thomas, JSN, Rome, Godwin, Jaden Reed, and Darnell Mooney. Torrey Horton for some upside. Running back, really glad I went with Hampton in round 4 because it makes me feel good about the top 2 I have. A-Chain and Hampton as the studs. Let's hope they stay healthy. That's what this team needs. And then some real big flyers, but handcuffs with tremendous upside. We got Ray Davis. If that contract situation for James Cook continues to get unresolved, Ray Davis, I think, will be very, very valuable this year. Even if it doesn't, I think he's going to have some value. A very good pick in this 12th round. Jaden Blue at one of the cheapest prices you can find in this overall tournament. He used to go at pick 120. We get him at 155. Let's hope for the best. Dallas is completely up for grabs in the backfield. Rico Dowdle for some hopes that Hubbard is just not, the workhorse like he was last year. Maybe goes down. Maybe we get lucky. And then Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, I think, has legit chances to finish the season as their RB1. I don't trust Brian Robinson that much. I really don't. And then Eckler, while I do think is a way better pick than Merritt, is like 32 years old. Eckler missed like 5 games last year, maybe 6. Eckler is not safe to stay healthy. So I think the 7th rounder has some legit upside, in my opinion. And then our quarterback room is Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, Cam Ward. And then overall, our stacks are Roma Dunze and Colston Loveland paired with Caleb Williams. Feel very good about that. We got Kelsey at a big value. That's nice. And then Darnold paired up with JSN and Torrey Horton. I don't feel safe betting that Cooper Kupp's going to stay healthy. Kupp is not the same player he once was. I think there's a third receiver in Seattle that will be relevant, and it might be MVS, but Horton has so far been healthy in training camp. I think he has a big path for upside if Kupp goes down. Horton also fell to the 5th round. I think he was a much more talented pick. If not for an injury last year, I think Horton might have been like a 3rd rounder this year. But he was a 5th round pick. I think the Seahawks got a steal in Torrey Horton. Might just take until year 2 for him to pop. But we don't have Cam Ward stacked up with anyone. We just got a tremendous value at 179. He goes 161 in general. So, yeah, I agree, Jeremy. I think this was a good draft. I like the team. I feel pretty good about it. Let me take a look at your team. I don't want to ignore your roster. I know you were drafting with us. You were team the Icon. Okay, so you went Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Love the quarterback combo. Running back, you got Saquon at pick 5, James Cook, Brian Robinson Jr., and Eckler. So I made the bet against your Commanders running backs. You know, good luck, man. There's definitely nothing guaranteed for Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, but I'm betting against your Commanders running backs. Good luck there. And then Nick Chubb as the 5th. I think a little bit risky, but very reasonable to only draft 5. And then Chubb is the handcuff to own in Houston, so not bad. Wide receiver, you have Ladd McConkey, Travis Hunter, Deebo Samuel, Khalil Shakir for the Josh Allen stack. Love that. Jaden Higgins, Trey Harris, Alec Pierce, Keenan Allen. Very happy you took 8 receivers here. I think this is definitely a team you need 8 receivers on. You have the Ladd and Trey Harris stack with Herbert. Love that. Hunter in the 5th. Definitely more of an appropriate pick these days. Deebo, good luck with Deebo. Should be okay. And then I'm high on Jaden Higgins. You got Harris at 116. That's a good price. And then Alec Pierce, Keenan Allen for some upside. Hopefully it works out for you. And you have Kincaid, Kyle Pitts, and Darren Waller. Kincaid stacked up with Josh Allen. I like that very much. I think you have a good team, man. Running back depth is a little bit tricky. I was shitting on both of them just 5 minutes ago, but can definitely compete. Like the team, man. I think you did a good job. And then we also had P Punch in with us, who goes Dak, Drake May, CJ Stroud. Is Dak stacked up? He's stacked up with Pickens. Drake May is stacked up with Hunter Henry. Not bad at all. And then Stroud at a good value, pick 144, ADP 134, stacked up with Christian Kirk and Jalen Noel. The only thing is about Kirk and Noel, they're kind of competing for the same job, and Kirk is probably like the clear front runner for that to work out. But at least one of them is going to be on the field in 3 wide receiver sets, and I do like Noel's upside. So definitely a justified selection. So glad you have some stacks. Running back Jacobs, David Montgomery, ETN. I'm not a huge fan on ETN's price these days, but I understand some path for upside. And then you go Dylan Sampson with the Judkins concerns. That's looking like a pretty decent pick. And then I also like the lottery pick on Brashard Smith. We've taken him in the past as well. Nice grab there. Yeah, solid running back room. Jacobs and Monty need to stay healthy, but could pop with ETN, Sampson, and Smith. Let's hope for the best. And then at receiver, with pick 1, you go Jamar Chase. I love the Devontae Adams in round 3. I think at the turn, perfectly justified. Love Adams in round 3. My most drafted receiver, other than I think Ayuk. He's in my top 3, that's for sure. And then DK Metcalf and Pickens at the 4-5 turn, justified as well. You also take Olave at a good value. That's nice. And then the Kirk Jalen Noel combo. I think having 7 is fine. I think with the top 5 you have, and then the stacks of Kirk and Noel, very good. And then Brenton Strange, Hunter Henry is your tight end core. So a little bit thin at tight end, not ideal, more so like floor options, but I think you can get away with 2 given who you have. You have it's just not showing me your 18th round pick. Who did you take in round 18, Peanut Punch? Let me find out. Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like your roster's a little thin. Manan guy. Okay, got it. Yeah, as you can see, I've only done 2 BBMs this offseason. I've been fading the BBMs in general. Yeah, Manan guy. I think I personally might have gone with the tight end there. I might have felt a little safer with the tight end, but I understand the swing on Manan guy as well. Jamie, not your guy. Good team, man. I think it worked out well. You did reach on Dak heavily, though. Okay, yeah. In context, I don't know if I would have taken Dak at 97, but you get your guy. Better to have him than not, I suppose. Yeah, I guess that's the one point of criticism. I remember seeing that on the draft board. Pick 97 Dak when he goes 111. I guess it's justified, but I usually try to get him at the next turn. But I've gotten sniped many times, so that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yeah, not much criticism here. I think you did a good job. Kind of nitpicking with the Dak Prescott selection. But love the receiving core. Tight end a little bit thin, but I think the 2 you have can work out. Can I answer your Tet versus Daniels question? Is it just specifically in the 4th round? Am I taking Tet versus Jaden Daniels? In general, I'm going with Tet, but I don't feel opposed to taking Daniels at all. I'm fine going either way. It's just preference. I just kind of like my teams a little bit more when I grab a 4th round wide receiver as opposed to a 4th round quarterback. But I could absolutely see Jaden Daniels being the quarterback 1 this season and being a very, very wise pick in round 4. It's not bad at all. Yeah, the stack with Bryce Young is another reason I'm kind of tempted to take Tet. I think I'm a little bit overweight on Tet, a little bit too much. A little too much. Anyways, it's coming up on 10 p.m. I don't think I'm gonna do a third here. I think I'm satisfied with the 2 we did tonight. I liked both of our teams. Thought both of our teams were good. And yeah, the more I think about this best ball team, this best ball mania team, I think it turned out really nice. We have Caleb Darnold and then a huge effing steal on Cam Ward at 179. A-Chain Hampton, Ray Davis, Jaden Blue, Rico Dowdle, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Brian Thomas, JSN, Roma Dunze, Chris Godwin, Jaden Reed, Darnell Mooney, Torrey Horton. Yeah, I feel good about the Merritt pick, knowing I had 6 good receivers already before I took Horton. And then tight end, Travis Kelce, Colson Loveland. Think it's a good team. I'm happy with it. And I'm going to call it a day. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you had some fun. If you did and you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And it looks like we have almost 30 viewers, only 12 likes. Do me a favor before you dip out. Just hit the like button. Help me get some extra views on this once it's posted. Hit the like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. That'd be nice. But yeah, it was fun. Had a good time. And this late night Sunday stream is gonna be a weekly thing. Didn't do a live stream on Friday. Usually I do a live on Friday. Didn't do that. Um, but we will probably get back to our 3 um, live streams per week rotation. So I'll probably be back on maybe Tuesday. I usually do Monday. I might be back. I might be back tomorrow. I might be back tomorrow. Anyways, hope y'all had fun. Thank you for an extra 3 likes in the last minute or so. Appreciate it. And hope you have a good week. Peace out, everyone. Goodbye.